You're in the bare minimum Olympics. That's not an amazing man. That's the cover charge to be allowed in your life.
Thank you.
When you got to use AI to validate your feelings, we've lost the plot. Describe, let's talk about it.
Ladies, we are retiring from the bare minimum Olympics. If a guy texts you back and he doesn't yell at you and he pays for the meal, that's not an amazing guy. It's just a normal, functioning adult.
If you're giving standing ovations for he texted back and he planned one date, you're not in a healthy relationship. You're in the bare minimum Olympics. That's not an amazing man. That's the cover charge to be allowed in your life.
Thank you.
If that's not sad to you, that doesn't seem a little bit sad. Listen, I know we use AI in place of, well, to replace what we feel like we're lacking in our relationships. But when we constantly call men and say they're the lonely ones, when the data is really clear showing how many women use ChatGPT or AIs in the pursuit of bridging that emotional sort of loneliness, is that gap, or that gap persists because there's loneliness. If you want to use AI and understand AI is not some separate thinking, entity at this point, it's an aggregate using all the information out there available to you. AI knows that you want to be talked to just like this. That's what it's giving you. It's not something amazing. It's not something secretive. It's not something that you need to be proud of or show off that this is somehow telling people the truth. You see, the phone said it. The app designed to make me feel good told me it, so therefore it's real. The hope is, if you find yourself single and you're older, that you're wiser to accompany all that. When you're not, we get concerned. When you don't have that wisdom, that tells us that you've believed the lie for such a long time, because your best thinking, your best preparation has got you to the place where you're aging out of the dating game, where the optionality is gone. And when, instead of realizing that, you get stricter and stricter and stricter about what you are willing to accept. Meanwhile, simultaneously on the other side, the amount of effort that men are putting into you as you're older and older and your looks reflect that reduces. It's not saying that it's fair. It's not saying that, yeah, he should still put in this effort. Absolutely, find someone like that, but understand that is a search in itself. You believing that AI, you believing the hype that you see online when you see younger women saying these things and think that it's the same sort of game that applies to you, it's a different field. It's a completely different field, and it's no shade to you, it's no shade to them, but it's just reality. You have to change with the times. When you stop paying attention, then you're just subject to the changes that happen around you. It's just like AI reducing the number of jobs available. You can see these things on the horizon, and it's incumbent upon you to make adjustments immediately. But when you come here and you have young women's talking points, this doesn't make sense to us as men. Same thing when you see a man in his mid-40s trying to be in the club, dressing like a younger man, you have the same issues that we're having here. You can see it as a struggle to let go. You see it as a struggle to, you never changed, you never evolved, you never upgraded your game. Ladies, you have to upgrade your game. When you move and sound like a younger woman, it looks off-putting. You don't have the shape, you don't have the vitality. You're not supposed to. You're supposed to, with that age, you're supposed to become more elegant, more classy, more understanding of the world and how things work, less naive about things. But when you say the same things that these young women are saying, it doesn't make sense to us. You have to adopt your own mentality, use your own experience, and make you the best sort of viable candidate you can be. Otherwise, what do you expect us to do? Treat you like your younger self? Men are very pragmatic. If your younger self is the one that got invited to the yacht, the 50-year version probably isn't. This is one of those things in life that you don't really have to like. You don't have to like. You just have to accept. Just the same way when we hear, hey, you want a man that's over 6 feet. Okay, I don't have to like it, but I have to accept it. I can't convince you otherwise. I think some of the problems is that we think that we can keep being critical of men and the way they date, the things they like, what their boundaries are. You think all of this, it can be shifted by shaming and guilting and insults. But you see more and more people just saying, yo, okay. Okay. That's my response. Yeah, okay. You don't like, okay. I'm not trying to disparage you. I'm not trying to yell. I'm not trying to go back and forth with you. Men are just saying, okay, right? Listen, before we continue, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss any uploads. Listen, if you get any type of value out of this content, subscribe. We're close to that stretch goal, that first goal of 5,000 subscribers, and then the 10,000. And then, 100,000 is in the future. But we're going to show up, we're going to do the work. So hype the video, share the video. We got merch in the store. So, of course, when you see a lot of this content come on, when you see these older women jumping on the content train that really is earmarked for younger women, it's just this disparity. It creates this gap that becomes, increasingly obvious. When you see older people, men and women, having the talking points of younger people, it reflects that you think this is your outcome. You're misplaced, you're mismatched. It's the same thing when, we're being honest and we're trying to be real for a sec. When you see people that aren't really that attractive talking like they are, there's always a moment in time where you're like, what are we saying here? Realistically, what are we saying here? When you're not really attractive and you're talking about how men aren't attractive anymore, you understand why your comment section is filled with people saying, the call is coming from inside the house. But since we let people sort of get away, specifically women, we let you get away with saying whatever you want. On one hand, it helps us show when you say it on the internet, when you decide to take that front facing camera, hit record, and then post it, we get insight into you. We get to learn how you really feel about things. Your thumbs tell more of the truth than you do. But this is good for us. On the other hand, it lets us see that, yeah, this isn't really an original thought. This thing that you're sitting, that you're spouting, that you're talking about with your full chest, it's not really your idea. This is not something that you looked at your own lived experience and said, yeah, this. If we were able to trace back where a lot of these conversations originated, they were from people with their specific experiences with a specific type of man or one type of man. But since we have the propensity to paint with a wide brush when it comes to men, so they're all like this. They all behave like this. You take it, you ran with it, you internalized it, yet you can't hear how silly you sound because we know this isn't your experience. You don't attract those type of men. You haven't met those type of men. That hasn't been your life. When we constantly told, my ex-boyfriend was a billionaire, trillionaire even. The next question out of our mouth, or the next answer out of yours, has to be, why are you not with him? If you're demanding that I do the things that your ex did and the ex before them did, so this is just your normal, your regular, why are you not with them? We never really have a good answer for that. But it requires us to sit back and sometimes push back against what is just being said. Because we've come from the system that simply says, believe all women. We were believing all women before it became a hashtag. She says, this is what my experience is, and you never question it. You never push back on it. So now you have people who don't look like, who don't sound like they had those experiences, using that as a backbone for why you need to do better by them. Why? And better means according to what they desire. This is the bare minimum. What do you mean? You got to the point where you're even calling paying all the bills is the bare minimum. These are just words. These are words you heard and you simply parroted them back. They mean absolutely nothing to you. They don't. It's a talking point that you can't defend. And when you see sometimes when you get the pushback and when some women try to defend some of these points, it doesn't make any sense. You've never really held it. It was never yours. You picked it up like your mother's purse when you were young. You didn't know how to set it. You didn't know how to walk with it. You didn't know whether you should set it down or put it over your shoulder. You have to have the actual experience of doing this to learn. So now it feels and it looks normal. It doesn't. When older women talk like younger women, it doesn't look normal. It looks sad to us. Listen, if you disagree, let me know down in the comments below. If you see other videos on your screen, check those out. Let me know your thoughts about those and those videos. Of course, if you listen to Sound My Voice now, you have not subscribed, I think you should. Just trying to build something dope. I'll see you in the next one.